Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of The Live Ones. It is Thursday, May 5th, 2022. Happy Cinco de Mayo. If you don't know the story behind this holiday, it's not just a celebration of Mexican heritage, not just an excuse to go out and get blitzed. It actually has some historical significance. It commemorates the Mexican Army's unlikely victory over French forces at the Battle of Puebla on May 5th, 1862. Fortunately, no one else has adopted the precedent because if there were an alcohol-fueled holiday celebrating every French military defeat, we'd all be dead of liver failure by now. The big story in the world of sports, it looks like there was something after all to Ben Simmons' refusal to play in the playoffs. He is getting surgery on his back for a minor herniated disc. Just FYI, that is something that you can do to yourself when you spend an inordinate amount of time slouched over at a desk. Like if you spend 9 months straight playing video games as a 7-foot-tall man and don't work out your body. So he'll be back by September. Honestly, the way things are going, this trade might wind up being one of those rare ones in sports that works out for precisely none of the people involved. Stanley Cup playoffs and NBA playoffs continued last night. No surprises in the NBA. The Heat and the Suns both made mincemeat of their respective opponents. We knew the Mavericks were a one-man show. It's increasingly looking like the Sixers are as well. Without Embiid, they don't have a focal point for the other team's defense to draw people off their other shooters, and so they have no offense. Only surprise in the Stanley Cup playoffs was the Lightning finding their scoring again and absolutely going off on the Maple Leafs to steal home ice advantage back. Leafs just flat out beat themselves. They spent 22 of the 60 minutes of the game at a man disadvantage from penalties. I swear every year is going to be Toronto's year. Every year is going to be the year they finally bring the cup back to Canada, and then there's always something. We only lost one game yesterday. The Blue Jays managed to stop the Yankees' win streak. It had to happen sooner or later. But we went 4-1. We're 9-3. We're up 5.6 units for the week. I'm feeling great. Hopefully you've been tailing. We're going to keep it going tonight. The NBA takes a break until Friday, but we got Stanley Cup games and MLB. Let's get to it. And we're going to start with the Avalanche and the Predators. Wow. I mean, that's all you could say after watching the first 20 minutes of Game 1, as the Avalanche just made mincemeat out of the Nashville Predators in a dominant 7-2 win. Outshot the Predators nearly 2-1. They controlled every single aspect of the game. The Predators were a top 5 power play team all season and were able to just get one power play goal out of 4 chances. There was just nothing Nashville could even do. And I don't think this Colorado team's going to sit on its laurels. They remember their embarrassing 4-game sweep exit from the playoffs last year. They're playing with a major chip on their shoulder. They think they're the best team in hockey, and they're out to prove it. I think they go off on this poor Nashville team again. All things considered, you're getting a nice price on the puck line at minus 135. It's virtually a lock to hit. Go ahead and take the chalk on it. Colorado Avalanche, minus 1.5 goals. So moving on to the Panthers and the Capitals. The Capitals stunned the actual best team in hockey in Game 1, getting a 4-2 dupe over the Panthers on the road. It's not like the Panthers didn't have chances to score. It's not like that was their failure. Vitek Vanacek was just a machine between the pipes for the Capitals, stopping 30 out of 32 shots that came his way. I'm definitely worried about Florida. They just didn't seem like themselves. They weren't generating high-danger chances. They weren't employing the kind of smothering defense they normally do in their zone. Claude Giroux and Sam Bennett both scored, but the rest of the forward unit just struggled. They failed to create effective scoring chances and find open shots. Sergei Bobrovsky, who's been solid as a rock all year long, looked like he did at the beginning of his career with the Flyers with the mistakes that he was making. I don't know if one day off is enough time to clean up everything, honestly. They can fix the offense or the defense, but not both. I don't think they have the time. The Capitals have been carried by their offense all season, scoring 3.3 goals per game, and Game 1 was no exception. I think the Panthers focus on finding their offensive form again, and I think as such, there's a very good chance we see a high total tonight. I'm taking the over 6.5 goals in this game. On to the Blue Jays and the Guardians, and you're getting a matchup of 2 starters tonight who, with their recent form, they probably wish they were facing other teams. Toronto's Bash brothers are going to put pressure on the Guardians' pitching staff in this series. The Blue Jays have 32 home runs this season, only 3 behind the Major League leading New York Yankees. Bad news for Aaron Savali. In his last 3 starts, he's 0-2 with a 12.27 ERA, a whip up around 2, 3 walks and 11 strikeouts over 11 innings of work. This guy can't get himself past the 4th inning. He throws about 20 pitches per inning reliably. Those are absolutely wretched numbers. This guy's got to attack the zone a lot more. Meanwhile, Cleveland sits as the 5th-ranked offense in baseball in runs and the 3rd in batting average. These guys don't crush the ball. They're not hitting long balls, but they're one of the few teams in the majors that can hit for contact in bunches and plate runs that way. They face Jose Berrios on the mound for the Jays. He comes in 2-0 with a 4.13 ERA, a 1.58 whip, 9 walks and 20 strikeouts over 24 innings. But he has been doing marginally better in his last couple of starts, but just marginally. These two bullpens have a combined ERA of almost 8, meaning you can expect about 3 or 4 more runs to get on the board once the starters get knocked out of the game around the 5th. I smell a lot of runs in this contest tonight, folks. You got 2 hot offenses, 2 shaky starters, and 2 mediocre pens. We're getting a gift here with this total sitting at 7.5. You just go ahead and grab that over. And last but not least, the Astros and the Tigers. There is just no reason to trust Jose Urquidy right now. He has an ERA just shy of 6, and if you dive into the advanced metrics in terms of hard hit rate and balls put into play, it really ought to be closer to 7. He's also barely posting any strikeouts, and his home run rate per 9 is up almost a half a run since last season. Now, to put those two things into context, both of those stats are happening in a year where swings and misses are way up and home runs are way down with this new baseball. The guy just doesn't have it right now. The Tigers, I know they're one of baseball's worst offenses in terms of run production, but they still average 3.2 runs a game against your run-of-the-mill pitchers. Against Urquidy, with the wind blowing out at Minute Maid Park, I think they can plate 4 runs tonight without a problem. Give me the Tigers team total over 3.5 runs. Fourth and final play for the night. Everyone bet safe, stay safe. Follow us on Twitter at Live One Sports. Check us out on Roku and Fire TV at the Live Ones. Have yourselves a great Thursday, and I will see you next time.